Your brain is wired to prove your beliefs right, even if they are the ones holding you back. That's why no matter how hard you try to change, if your beliefs don't change, nothing will change. I have invested hundreds to thousands of dollars meeting with psychologists and therapists so that I can use my time not only to heal, but to get educated so I can share this information with you guys. I've also read countless books and the studies of those like Dr. Joe Dispenza. If you're not familiar with his teachings, I highly recommend you look into them. A belief is a practiced thought. The more you choose a certain belief, whether consciously or subconsciously, you are strengthening a neural pathway in your brain, which physically makes it that much more difficult to rewire a different way. It is going to take work. And once you understand this, it really clicks differently. That is what today's topic is going to be about. This is part 2 of the Becoming a Better Version of Yourself series. And in part 1, if you haven't seen that, I'll leave a link for you to go watch that first. In part 1, we spent more time focusing on figuring out who it is that we want the better version of us to be. What do we want our better selves to look like, feel like? And while we're at it, let me introduce myself. Hi friends, if you're returning, I'm so grateful to have you back on my channel. And if you're new here, my name is Krizia. You can find me on my social media as Krizia Official across all pages. And I have basically made it my life's mission to share with you the glow up journey that I started myself. When I got laid off from my job and leaned into becoming self-employed, then leading to making 6+ figures as a full-time creator, paying off thousands of dollars of debt during a recession and while living in one of the most expensive cities you could live in. The reason why I was able to do the things that I have done, I have used these studies, these exact tips that I'm giving you to transform my own personal life. So like I said, this topic today of rewiring your beliefs really hits home. And at the end of every part of this series, I will leave you with an action item so that after you watch this video, you don't just go back to whatever it is that you're doing and consuming. And my hope is that you'll take the action item and actually put this knowledge into motion. Let's talk about our belief systems. Our brains will find evidence to support whatever our beliefs are. This is where a lot of people get confused. Oftentimes confusing when you're like, well, I really want to succeed, or I really want to change, and I really want to become this person, but why isn't my life changing? It's not about what you want. It is about your internal beliefs and how your subconscious brain is operating. Our beliefs are like mental programs running on autopilot, and majority of these beliefs were built during our childhood, which is why it's really important to revisit your childhood memories and think of those core beliefs and where you got them from to begin with. And just to simplify things, a belief is simply practiced thought. The more that you choose the same thought, the more you strengthen that neural pathway in your brain. So that is why it is important to start rewiring your brain by choosing different thoughts. Confirmation bias. So if you believe that you're not consistent, or you're not good enough, or you're not worthy of XYZ, that is truly going to reflect in your reality, because your brain's only job is to find proof to support those beliefs and ignore the rest. But the great news here is your brain can literally rewire itself. This is done through new thoughts and new action, but it has to be repeated enough to strengthen that pathway in your brain and eventually get rid of the old belief system that is wired in your brain. So now that we know all of this, how do we shift our beliefs to match the better version of ourselves? Number 1, we are going to name the belief. Name out all the belief systems you have, the first ones that come to mind, the ones that you feel are holding you back. These usually revolve things in relationships, love, money. Those are the top ones that really affect basically our entire lives, right? And the beliefs we have about ourselves and our worthiness, which ultimately affects either one of those. We want to bring forth our belief systems to our awareness, right? You can't take action and change things if you aren't aware of what's currently happening. So I want you to write down all of the belief systems that come to mind that could be potentially holding you back into an old identity. After you write down these beliefs, now it's time to question them. Where did these beliefs come from? And who taught me this? Most of the time it comes from childhood. You probably got scolded as a kid for doing a certain thing, saying a certain thing, being a certain way. And those are usually the ones that shape who we are today. Really sit with this. And then the third step here, what we're gonna do is we're going to flip it. Replace it with something more aligned so that you can actually start practicing believing it. So let me give you some examples so this can hopefully make better sense. In terms of money, instead of saying things like, I'm bad with money, you can replace it and flip it with, I am learning how to trust myself with money. If you have a belief like, I'm too inconsistent to complete any task, you can flip it with, I am becoming the person who's committed to following through. Another common belief system is, people like me don't make it. People like me don't succeed. People like me don't thrive in whatever industry. We can then take that belief, we can flip it into, people like me are rewiring what's possible every day. Another common belief, I can't charge that much. Money is like a whole other topic that we'll get into later, but there's a lot of limiting beliefs a lot of us have around money. I shouldn't want more money, that is selfish. Or especially if you're a business owner or charging for your services, we'll often tell ourselves things like, I can't charge that much. We can flip that belief into, the right clients value me for my work. I am allowed to grow and evolve, and I attract the right customers to my business. This is going to take a lot of practice, and it still till this day is something that I'm working on. The only person you should be in competition with is a past self. When those old beliefs do pop up, which they will, don't be alarmed, you're not doing anything wrong. Even through different versions, as you evolve, you will still have occasional old beliefs pop up. You will just start to learn how to work through them. You want to say something to yourself like, that's an old story, I'm no longer available for that belief. And remember, you don't need to believe a new belief 100%. You probably won't. It's gonna feel fake, it's gonna feel cringy, it's gonna feel awkward as you try to replace your old belief systems with these new ones, because it's new to you, it's new to your body, it's new to your brain, and it's gonna feel uncomfortable. But just keep going and replacing these old beliefs with new ones, and it takes practice. The old beliefs that you have, you likely have practiced and reinforced your entire life. So that is a lot of years that we're gonna now have to replace with a new belief. But as long as you are consciously choosing a different belief every time an old one pops up, I promise you it will get easier and it will feel more natural, and next thing you know, it's going to be so easy for you to replace that old belief. It just means that you're consciously choosing a new reality. It is your job now to just build evidence to support those new beliefs by continuing to choose them and reinforce them. This is going to build a better version of you over time. One day you're gonna look back and think to yourself, I can't even remember that version of me who used to believe XYZ. I have those moments all the time, and it feels so good to know that you have done all this work to change your internal belief system. So with all of that said, as I mentioned, I want to leave you with an action item. So after you are done with this video, you can do something on your own time. So here's what you're going to do. Write down one belief, just one belief that's keeping you stuck. Something that you constantly say to yourself that doesn't support your goals. And then what I want you to do is flip that belief. You're gonna flip that belief and turn it into an empowering one. If it helps, feel free to leave it in the comments below. Maybe you can help each other out and inspire each other with how you're flipping your beliefs. And this week, every time an old belief shows up for you, I want you to repeat this new one. Repeat the empowering one every time that old belief comes up. I want you to do this consciously and actively as much as possible all week long. Your brain is just basically used to the old programming, so it's gonna take a little time. Give it time, give it repetition, just like anything, and going to the gym, like that's always the perfect example. You don't go to the gym once and expect to have muscles. Do it repeatedly. Every time you choose the more empowering thought, you are stepping into the better version of yourself. Love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.